Hey everyone, it's me, Dark Devis, back at it again. I'm here to bring you your campaign tips, episode 2. This is kind of what we're going to go over today. We're going to go over player options and what you want to provide to your players and what you don't want to give to your players. Now, obviously, back in episode 1, we talked a lot about lore, people, groups, and places. I would, first of all, say that you can't obviously give all that information to your players. That is something that, maybe there are parts of that they need to find out on their own. And there are parts that they can already know. The first thing your players need to think about, though, is are they a local? Are you making them all locals? Or maybe they can come in from other parts of your world. That is the big thing that you need to focus on first and foremost. Because they're a local, they're going to obviously know a little bit more about this place than a foreigner would. You can give them like a map if they're local and let them know a little bit of history, what they would have probably lived through or been taught by their parents, if that matters, of course. But what they wouldn't know is a lot about the groups of your area. I think the locals would obviously know about the well-known groups, so anything like kind of secret, hidden away, people who don't want to be found by normal people, nobody knows about that to start with. What you should definitely keep in mind, though, is these groups that you have, you don't want to give out too much about them. I think just a general synopsis like, this is the church, they do this church stuff, this is the paladins, they go around killing monsters. Maybe give them a problem or two that's going on in the kingdom if they're local. Foreigners should not know jack shit coming into this place, except the name of the place they're going to and why they're going there. Now, the thing after that you give your players is pretty much their character creation info. What spells did you ban? What classes did you ban? What subclasses did you ban? What's the new homebrew stuff that you've allowed into your campaign? It's all of that that culminates into your campaign. Remember, your campaign is your vision, essentially. It's your canvas. If the Archfey patron wouldn't work, like there are no Fey connections in your world, and maybe that's a part of the plot or something. I don't know. But if there are no Fey connections, then why would an Archfey have reached out to someone to give them warlock powers? That doesn't make any sense. If nobody is there to teach magic to unmagicked people, how is there a wizard? It's stuff like that you have to think about before saying, oh yeah, I'm banning this thing. Now, obviously, there are certain things that you should ban because you believe it's too powerful. And a good example of this is silvery fucking barbs. Silvery barbs is way too powerful. It breaks the game and pretty much reduces a ton of different subclasses to nothing. Why have silvery barb? Why have be a divination wizard when you could silvery barb somebody? Why even roll advantage when you could get silvery barbs? Silvery barbs just breaks the game, and that part of the reason why I have it personally banned in my campaign. I know some people don't like the Twilight Cleric because it's too powerful, and people can have their own opinions, but think about what you need to ban for flavor and ban for practicality in your campaign. That's important. And the last thing you need to understand with your players is the homebrew. Maybe there's something that you want to add to your campaign that would make more sense. I added a couple things that made more sense to my campaign, and I added a couple of things that I would rather have had in the campaign, and just things that I think should exist, like a card spell slinger, such as the Torochi homebrew, or a more like generic monster hunter in the Jaeger subclass from Steiner's Guide to Everything. Subclass. And just a couple of other things that I added, like the Weave Knight to get more of a sword and sorcery feel class into the campaign. And it's those things that I've added to better suit the world and better kind of give more options That's what I've done with that. The other thing with the player information you give out is lore. I don't give out a ton of lore. I've given out the basic principles that would have been passed down from generation to generation, but I sprinkle in the lore, the actual lore, and what's like actually going on the island that they should be focusing on little by little into the story. And I did that a lot more in this last session, probably than what I should have. I established that there were these like tombs essentially around the island holding these spirits of ancient people. That's like part of the lore. They don't know why that's there yet, and I'm not going to share that here because I know some of them watch my videos. I'm not going to spoil my campaign for them. But this is sort of the lore. Like, there are these ancient tombs that are around, and people are going after them. Why is that? What are these tombs for? Who are these people? It's stuff like that that is stuff that you need to sprinkle in to your players. But other than that, that's all I have for today. I know this is a bit of a shorter video. Part 3 of this is going to be your world in motion, like you actually playing the game out. And that's going to be a whole different thing about just being a lot more good at improvising and whatnot, focusing on your players' narratives. But until then, I probably won't do another one of these until after I get out my narrative retelling of my campaign of the session 1. And I am happy to say that it is going to be up within 2 weeks. If it's not up next week, then it'll definitely be up in 2 weeks. Next week, if it's not up, I will probably be giving another story time episode. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Remember to subscribe if you want to keep up with this, and I hope you're back for more.